have all of our coaches gone away. Like the Romeo Cornells, the Charlie Weisses, all these kind of people, because there's little things dating back from last year when we lost the Super Bowl that I'm starting to get a little iffy about. The little halftime adjustments, the mentality of the team. Sometimes, like you said a little earlier, they're getting beat up. This stuff never used to happen.
I'm telling you,
never used to happen.
The secondary is a mess. Yeah. It's a mess.
You know what? You know what it kind of reminds me of?
Ronzo, I said it when we watched the game, newbie, 2005.
You know what it reminds me of?
10 and 6.
Listen, when we won the first Super Bowl, we've got injuries all over. I mean, Tom Brady got in because of an injury. Everybody got injured, and we overcame it.
But think about that 2001 team. That was an all-star coaching staff, and we had some Pro Bowl players.
You're right. But now,
Malloy, Ty Law.
But you've evolved. You got a Pro Bowl player still. You got more. You got a handful of Pro Bowlers. You do. You still do.
In the secondary?
Not in this. I didn't say where. I said they're there.
Yeah.
You got offensive line Pro Bowlers. You got a lot of people on that team that are Pro Bowlers. You got defensive line. You got linebackers. So you do have the skill. You still have good coaches, and you have experience, which is something that can't be taught. You got experience now, so it gotta transcend all those injuries. But it kind of reminds me of like those Rocky movies. You know, back in 2001, they were hungry. I'm starting to question whether they want it anymore. And that's something that I never used to question.
I saw a fight yesterday.
I saw a fight yesterday, but it's kind of like they got to go through this tough. I mean, this is the kind of stuff, it's like when they're getting punched around by the Dolphins, when they're getting beat up, all played.
When Joey Porter throws a kitchen sink at you, you got a problem.
And that's stuff that we should never see. We should never see that kind of stuff. There's certain things in life we should never have to see as a New England fan.
Yeah, let's move on to the next email then.
Next question. This is from Phil from Plymouth North. He says, hey, Steppin Up Big Time crew, who is the NFL MVP this year?
Ooh, I got it narrowed down to 2. You
All
ready
right,
for this one? Kurt Warner, Adrian Peterson. I got to nod to Adrian Peterson because I look at the quarterback situation for the Vikings. It's an absolute joke. If Adrian Peterson, God forbid, gets injured for the season, the coaching staff gets fired, the quarterback is known as a bum, the offensive line sucks, because Adrian Peterson makes everyone better. Now, the offensive line looks good because they don't have to block as much because, he hits the hole so much faster than everyone else. I think Adrian Peterson is the MVP, but Kurt Warner's close second because Kurt Warner, first of all, rejuvenizing his career. Coming back, he's changed the whole model of mentality. We're talking about winning. The Cardinals are not winners, okay? He's changed that mentality to believe that, we actually could win games, not only win the division, but make some noise in the playoffs. He's a close second.
First of all, Adrian Peterson is making people bet around him. I can't tell. They're 5-4. They're not that good. They might not even win the division nor make the playoffs.
Here's our point.
I don't see that making your team better.
Here's my point.
I don't see that making your team better. I would give. I don't even want to say this, but I have to. Kurt Warner has the edge because that team's rallying defensively. The defense knows they can play because their quarterback's going to put them in a position to win. He can throw the ball. They got those two dynamic guys on the outside. You got big 6'7" Leonard Pope at tight end. Kurt Warner's giving them the ball. He's giving them the ball. They got Adrian James back there, J.J. Harrington. They got a good backfield, young offensive line, but it's getting tougher. Kurt Warner's making the Cardinals play more than Adrian Peterson making the Vikings. That's a fact.
Well, without Adrian Peterson,
not by record, by their defense and offense.
The Vikings wouldn't have a win without Adrian Peterson.
You're right.
So that's called making them better.
Not more than Kurt Warner.
Not more than Kurt Warner. That's called making them better.
He's not making them that much better more than Kurt Warner's making the Cardinals better.
Excuse me.
So I would say the Cardinals more. I would say the Cardinals more.
Excuse me.
Cardinals more.
Excuse me,
I'm going Kurt Warner.
I bet to differ.
I get Kurt Warner. We'll see who's in the playoffs at the end of the year.
Now,
not Adrian Peterson.
Wait a minute. You never even said who's your MVP.
I don't even want to say it, but right now I have to say Kurt Warner. I don't feel comfortable saying it, and shame on LaDainian Tomlinson for not winning it this year. Or someone else. This is horrible. Yes. This is horrible when Kurt Warner, the Arizona Cardinals guy who's had 4 fumbles against the Jets, is going to win the MVP this year. That's bad.
I think you
We got about a minute.
There's one guy who a lot of people have forgotten about. He's quietly doing his thing up in New York. No Super Bowl hangover. Eli Manning. Fear this guy. He is looking a lot like his brother right now. He's playing phenomenal football. Has his team right back in the swing of things. We all thought it was a fluke. I swore up and down it was going to be a fluke. The only reason I was able to get out of bed after the Patriots lost is because I was going to say, you know what, the Giants are not going to win a game next year. I don't feel bad. I'm going to see my Patriots go back to the playoffs, and I'm going to see the Giants lose every single game. And that's called vindication. I am waking up now, and I am seeing Eli Manning is the real deal. He is doing...
He's outplaying his brother right
He
now.
is doing... Yeah,
Eli Manning is who he thought he was,
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Maybe it was a good move by
necessarily-
Mr. Archie Manning to get a move to the Giants.
Not necessarily a bad thing. That is it for our second segment of Lost in Translation. Wow, what a great 2 segments. Wow. We'll be back in our third segment when we talk about anything that's important to us. I think we have to mention in the third segment, President-elect 44th, President Barack Obama. We've been campaigning for him for the past 5 months.
He won?
Yeah, you hear about that? It hasn't been news that often, but it's been on one time.